I've had lots of agents over the years, and I don't know if you guys are the same, but most agents have said to me not to reveal my real age, and I've always found that ridiculous. Why? In fact, I like to add a bit, so I look better.
So you look better.
Really? 65?
Oh, it's your height or your size? Or
Yeah, and I'm proud of the age that I am. I'm a woman of some experience, hopefully.
Yeah. Loads of experience.
And I don't see any reason to lie about it.
No.
I mean, the thing is, what made me laugh about this, because this is the big book, isn't it, America, where people put their photographs and casting directors are coming to look at those photographs to decide whether to cast them or not. But I feel if I was the casting director, I would be saying, OK, if you can't put your age down, can I please have a real photo? Because, you know, we are all guilty of having airbrushing and knocking 15, 20 years off our lives, aren't we?
Face-to-face interviews, I think that's...
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Have you got a big bit of tinfoil under your face? Because that's a top tip for anyone at home. If you want to do a photo and bleach out all the wrinkles.
I mean, it's lovely. I love it, but I'm 15 in it.
Yeah. I think you still look like that. I think you're still gorgeous.
Really?
I remember my mum telling me a story. when she was going for a job, this is my mother, when she was just 19 or 20, and it was a police station, and they actually said to her, you're of the age, you know, we may be thinking about having children. Do you plan on having children soon? Well, of course, you could never say that to a woman these days. No. And she said, well, oh, no, unfortunately, I was told by my doctor that I couldn't have children. 6 months later, she had the job. She got pregnant with me. She said, well, you have to believe me, I wasn't fibbing. It was true, that's what the doctor said. But can you imagine a woman today having that kind of interview being
But do you
asked?
think there is still ageism out there, Janet?
Definitely, and I would recommend to all women watching that when you apply for a job, do not put your age on your CV. Let your experience speak for itself. Because often the only way you're going to get an interview is not putting your age. And I think it particularly applies to women in their 40s and 50s who are... you know, who feel, for whatever reason, when you go for a job, you're going to be deemed too old, or, in a funny way, perhaps not old enough. Because a lot of the retailers now and a lot of the supermarkets are employing older people because, let's face it, they've got good people skills. Not me, obviously. My people skills are zero. But as for my own age, everybody knows my age. It's 69.
You are for the job, surely. I mean, when I was looking for nannies for our boys, when they were very, very young, I wanted an older woman who had lots of experience with babies. It was very nurturing, that I could completely 100% trust that they were going to give the children the right care. But now the boys are older, and they're so sporty and they're non-stop, I've actually employed a male nanny who I wanted a little bit younger.
So ages were very important to you as an employer at both those points.
Yes, because it was so relative to the care that was going to be given to the children. So it really depends on how qualified they are, not specifically the age.
And how? And is he obviously really good with the boys?
Amazing. I mean, he used to be he was an ex-teacher,
right?
And he's extremely sporty. He was a swimmer, football player. So
but
he
legally,
he married?
Legally, on a job application, you can't say, I'm looking for someone of a certain age. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Well, it was the agency that asked me, what age are you looking for? So I was just
you should be able to do that because it is very relevant.
Because it's a personal
job.
thing.
But don't you think that since I got into my 50s, obviously, I've not enjoyed my 50s so far, purely because, you know, obviously, without bringing down on it, my sister died at 53, and so that's always on my mind. But also, I do feel, you know what gets on my nerves? The adverts. If you're 50 and above, you should be saving for your funeral. It's like...
You know what, Colin? I've got an answer for you. Obviously, I'm 50 and above, I'm 60 and above, and I'm nearly 70. And I do notice that loads of ads are aimed, as they think, at my generation. But how wrong they are. My generation are the people with loads of disposable income. That's why all the ads are aimed at them. They've got loads of time on their hands. But we're out there, we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
We're not dropping off, you know, our coil. We're not just sitting there mouldering, gathering cobwebs on us. Our generation...
Is that a word? Mouldering, I like that.
Mouldering. Mouldering means your bum's welded, you know, welded to the chair. Cobwebs are growing on you. I'm not trying turning into Miss Hamilton, but can I turn it on its head and say, yeah, we often think, like you've just said with your male nanny, that older can bring, you know, all sorts of you feel happier with an older person. But a major airline has just employed a 26-year-old pilot. So would you feel happy with a really young person flying you on a plane?
Depends how many flights they've taken in the past. It's experience, isn't it? When you talk about
But obviously,
pilot,
being experienced, they will have had to do loads of flights.
I'm going to be really, really ageist and really, really honest. I'd be really worried. I know I shouldn't, because they've done the training.
But then again, that's
and the
ageist.
co-pilot
You're being
19.
ageist.
But
You're
I'm not
being
being totally ageist,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you
I
are.
was a very old person flying a plane
I
either.
just prefer somebody old and experienced.
Well,
to
you
fly
wouldn't
my
want me
plane.
in
middle-aged.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.